The afternoon sun beat down on Marcus Evans as he guided his delivery van toward Oak Ridge Estates, a pristine gated community nestled among sprawling oak trees. Marcus checked his watch, 2:15 p.m. Right on schedule. After 6 years with SureDeliver, he prided himself on punctuality and professionalism. His Navy uniform was crisp despite the sweltering heat, his company ID displayed prominently on his chest. "Package for 1422 Willow Lane," Marcus muttered, double-checking the address on his tablet. The parcel, marked fragile and priority, sat securely beside him. As he approached the gleaming white guardhouse, Marcus took a deep breath. Gated communities always made him tense. Sometimes entry was smooth, other times, not so much. He rolled down his window, feeling a bead of sweat trickle down his temple as he pulled up to the gate. The intercom crackled to life. Marcus put on his most professional smile, unaware that the next 15 minutes would change his life forever. "Delivery for 1422 Willow Lane," Marcus announced clearly into the intercom, holding up his company badge toward the camera. No response came, but the gate slowly swung open. Marcus nodded with relief and eased the van forward. He'd barely cleared the entrance when a silver luxury sedan swerved in front of him, forcing him to slam on his brakes. The package tumbled to the floor. A man in his 50s with salt and pepper hair and an expensive polo shirt emerged, his face contorted with suspicion. This was Brian Thompson, HOA board member and self-appointed neighborhood watchdog. "Hey! Stop right there," Thompson shouted, approaching with his phone raised. "Who let you in? What's your business here?" Marcus kept his voice steady. "Good afternoon, sir. I'm with SureDeliver, bringing a package to Willow Lane." Thompson's eyes narrowed. "I don't recognize you. Where's Pete? He usually handles our deliveries." "Pete works the morning route. I've got the afternoon shift," Marcus explained, reaching for his credentials. "Here's my ID and delivery confirmation." Thompson waved dismissively. "Anyone can fake those. This is a private community. I'm going to need you to leave and have your supervisor contact the HOA directly." Marcus felt his heart hammering but kept his composure. "Sir, I'm just doing my job. The resident is expecting this package today. It's marked priority." "That's not my problem," Thompson sneered, stepping closer. "I'm not letting you drive around here unescorted." Several front doors cracked open as neighbors noticed the commotion. Marcus remained in his van, hands visible on the steering wheel, a habit his father had instilled in him for situations exactly like this. "What's going on?" called out an elderly woman watering her roses. "Caught this guy trying to sneak in," Thompson announced loudly, as if he'd apprehended a criminal. "Claims he's a delivery driver." "Because I am a delivery driver," Marcus responded firmly. "I have 6 more deliveries after this one. I'm just trying to do my job, sir." 2 more residents approached, a middle-aged couple walking their golden retriever. The man frowned, taking in the clearly marked delivery van and Marcus's uniform. "Brian, isn't that the SureDeliver logo? We get packages from them all the time," the man said. Thompson stood his ground. "We can't be too careful these days. How do we know he's not casing our homes? I've never seen him before." The woman with the dog looked uncomfortable. "But he has a uniform and everything." "Uniforms can be bought online," Thompson scoffed. "Look, I'm on the HOA board. It's my responsibility to keep this community safe." Marcus took a deep breath. "Sir, I've been with SureDeliver for 6 years. You can call my dispatcher if you'd like verification." The number's on the side of the van. Thompson's face hardened. "I'm calling security instead. Don't move." From her driveway across the street, Sophia Chen had been washing her car when the confrontation began. Now she stood, garden hose forgotten and dripping, her phone held steadily in her hands as she recorded the escalating situation. "This doesn't feel right," she whispered to herself, making sure to capture Thompson's aggressive stance and Marcus's professional demeanor. Sophia stepped closer, keeping her movements calm and deliberate. The camera caught Thompson's finger jabbing toward Marcus's chest, the delivery driver's hands remaining visible, his voice level despite the provocation. "Excuse me," Sophia called out, her voice carrying across the manicured lawn. "I'm recording this interaction for everyone's safety." Thompson spun around, his face flushing. "Put that phone away. This is a private matter." "It's happening on a community street," Sophia replied evenly, continuing to record. "And I believe this driver deserves to be treated with respect while he's trying to do his job." A white security vehicle rolled up, lights flashing but no siren. The supervisor, Ray Jenkins, stepped out, adjusting his cap as he assessed the scene before him. "What seems to be the problem here?" Jenkins asked, his experienced eyes taking in the blocked delivery van, the agitated resident, and the small crowd that had gathered. Thompson immediately launched into his version. "This man entered our community without proper authorization. I'm concerned about security breaches." Jenkins turned to Marcus. "May I see your identification and delivery manifest, please?" Marcus handed over his credentials without hesitation. "I have a priority package for 1422 Willow Lane. It's all logged in the system." The security supervisor examined the documents thoroughly, then made a quick call on his radio. After a brief conversation, he nodded. "Everything checks out. Mr. Evans is a verified SureDeliver employee with proper clearance for our community," Jenkins announced. "The resident at 1422 is expecting this package today." Thompson sputtered, "But I've never seen him before." "Pete, usually, SureDeliver has over 30 drivers in this district, Mr. Thompson," Jenkins explained patiently. "They rotate routes. Mr. Evans has delivered here numerous times before." Jenkins turned to Marcus. "You're clear to proceed with your delivery, sir. Sorry for the inconvenience." Thompson's face darkened as he realized several phones were recording the incident. Without another word, he stormed back to his car and drove away. Sophia's video hit social media that evening. By morning, Gated Community Gatekeeper had amassed over 2 million views. News outlets picked up the story, with headlines blaring, "Delivery driver blocked despite valid credentials." Marcus's calm professionalism in the face of unwarranted suspicion resonated with viewers nationwide. The comment sections exploded with similar stories from delivery personnel, rideshare drivers, and service workers who'd faced comparable treatment. The hashtag #DeliveryWhileBlack began trending, sparking conversations about racial profiling in upscale communities. Marcus's phone buzzed constantly with interview requests. His supervisor called, voice filled with concern. "You handled yourself admirably, Evans. The company stands behind you 100%. The Oak Ridge Estates Community Board convened an emergency meeting. Residents packed the clubhouse, many expressing outrage at Thompson's behavior. "This is not who we are," declared the board president, visibly distressed. "Or at least, not who we should be." Sophia's phone rang during the meeting. It was a major morning show requesting her appearance. She glanced across the room where Marcus sat quietly beside his wife, their hands intertwined. "I'll do it," she told the producer, "but only if Marcus can share his perspective too. This isn't about me. It's about acknowledging a problem that's been ignored for too long." The Oak Ridge Estates Board voted unanimously on sweeping changes the following week. Thompson was removed from his position, effective immediately. His formal apology, clearly drafted by a crisis management firm, rang hollow compared to his actions captured on video. "Effective today, we're implementing mandatory anti-bias training for all board members, staff, and security personnel," announced the board president at a press conference. "Additionally, we're creating a new community ethics committee with diverse representation to review our policies and practices." SureDeliver seized the opportunity, launching a nationwide, Respect Every Delivery campaign featuring testimonials from drivers of all backgrounds. They introduced body cameras for drivers who wanted them and established clear protocols for handling confrontations. The district attorney reviewed the footage and charged Thompson with disorderly conduct and making false reports. Rather than face trial, he accepted a plea deal requiring community service hours at a local food distribution center, where he would work alongside delivery drivers from various backgrounds. Marcus received commendation from SureDeliver's CEO during a company-wide town hall. "Your professionalism exemplifies the best of who we are," she stated, announcing a new scholarship program for minority students pursuing transportation and logistics careers. The program would be named after Marcus, who insisted that the first recipient be Sophia's teenage son, a high school student with dreams of starting his own delivery service. Marcus sat on his porch swing, watching fireflies dance across his front yard. The past month had been a whirlwind. Tonight was the first evening he'd had to himself, to process everything that had happened. "Penny for your thoughts?" His wife Tanya joined him, handing him a steaming mug of tea. Marcus wrapped his fingers around the warm ceramic. "Just thinking about how one moment changed everything. Not just for me, but maybe for a lot of folks." The media attention had faded, but the policy changes remained. 3 other delivery companies had adopted SureDeliver's new protocols. 2 neighboring gated communities had reached out to Oak Ridge Estates for guidance on implementing similar reforms. "You know what surprised me most?" Marcus said, looking up at the stars. "How many people stepped forward?" "Sophia, the security supervisor. Those neighbors with the dog." Tanya squeezed his hand. "People want to do right, Marcus. Sometimes they just need to see someone else take the first step." He nodded slowly. "Dad always told me to keep my cool, to be the professional no matter what. Never thought it would spark all this." "Your father would be proud," Tanya said softly. "There's still so much work to do," Marcus replied. "But for the first time in a long while, I feel like maybe we're moving forward instead of just running in place." The inaugural community picnic at Oak Ridge Estates Park drew residents from all backgrounds. Marcus and his family attended as guests of honor. Children played together on freshly installed playground equipment while adults shared food and stories beneath oak trees that had witnessed decades of neighborhood history. Sophia and Marcus stood side by side, watching Thompson awkwardly serving lemonade as part of his community service. "Progress isn't perfect," Marcus observed. "But it's happening." A young delivery driver waved as she passed through the now automated gates, no questions asked, no suspicions raised. "It's a start," Sophia agreed. "And sometimes, that's enough to change everything." The inaugural community picnic at Oak Ridge Estates Park drew residents from all backgrounds. Marcus and his family attended as guests of honor. Children played together on freshly installed playground equipment while adults shared food and stories beneath oak trees that had witnessed decades of neighborhood history. Sophia and Marcus stood side by side, watching Thompson awkwardly serving lemonade as part of his community service. "Progress isn't perfect," Marcus observed. "But it's happening." A young delivery driver waved as she passed through the now automated gates, no questions asked, no suspicions raised. "It's a start," Sophia agreed. "And sometimes, that's enough to change everything."